All right, on the bench today, I have a 2006 Honda CR-V with a 2.4, and Honda designates this transmission as an MKZA. So with these 2.4 transmissions in the CR-Vs, the 4 and the 5 speeds, and also this we can cover this for more of the 4-cylinder Accord 5 speeds like the BCLA or the MCLA. There's common problems that should be looked at and should be addressed when you're rebuilding these transmissions. All right, this particular one on this CR-V, it came in because it has a noise in the transmission in park and neutral. All right, and the noise goes away when you select reverse or drive. All right, so the problem with that is in this end cover. All right, this bearing has become loose and the main shaft is not riding true. Okay, due to vibration and load, this bearing actually should be a press fit to keep everything in line. So this bearing is going to come right out of here. It's fairly common. You know, I've seen this before. I actually did a video on one of these also with this problem, but I wanted to just go over, you know, some common problems with these transmissions instead of doing a teardown. I actually have a teardown on this one already. So one common problem is that end cover that should be checked on the CR-Vs, the 4 and 5 speeds, and the Accord 4-cylinder 5 speeds. All right, also there is a set of feed tubes that absolutely must be updated if they are the early style. All right, I know I do these later ones, the tube's already in there, but I'm not sure the year. I'm not sure if it's like 2010 and up. Not really sure, but I'll show you the set of the early tubes here, and I'm waiting for the parts from Honda, which is the end cover, the set of tubes, and a cooler return filter. All right, so once I get those in, then I'm gonna continue the video and show you the new parts that I got and updated parts. All right, also, so we got the tubes I'm gonna show you. All right, this collar sits in the case, and you wanna make sure there's no ring grooves in this, and you know, you really should pull this out because there's seals behind here, and if you have an issue with your 1-2 shift, it could be something with this. So this, you know, really should be checked. It is in the case. There is a bearing on top of it. It's really not that easy to come out. This one actually came out. A lot of times what I gotta do is I gotta put it in my hot tank, you know, wash up the case, and I have my bearing puller, a piece I put in there, it splits apart, and then I screw my slide hammer in and try to get out while it's nice and hot. I think the company, I think it's Superior, I think they make a tool that you can get actually the bearing out. But, you know, bottom line is, really should be checked, seals really should be changed. I mean, I do every one of them. Of course, it's a lot easier for me because I'm in the shop here, but, you know, it really should be done. Also, the cooler return filter, I like to use only Honda on this. All right, my supplier does sell aftermarket, like when you go on their website, and under, like, say, for this heading, this MKZA, you go under filters, it'll show the main sub-filter, show the cooler return filter, which is external, but I don't really care for the aftermarket one, so I only go OE on that, and I don't know, it's maybe $25, $30, but that's the only one that I'll use. So I'm waiting for the end cover, I'm waiting for the tubes, I'm waiting for the cooler return filter. All right, the sleeve I'm gonna use over again because I have no grooves in there. So let me get a little closer, I'll show you this stuff, and then when the new parts come in, I'll continue the video and show you the new parts, and then I gotta get this back together. It's still very, very busy here. I got a couple going on this bench, and I still got more to come out. So, working away here. All right, so let me get a little closer, and we'll take a look at this stuff, and then again, when the new stuff comes in, you'll get a shot of that as well. All right, so here is the end cover, and again, due to load and vibration, this bearing becomes loose and it falls right out. All right, and it's really not supposed to do that because this bearing is a pressed fit. So when I order this cover, or when I get the cover, I should say, It's gonna come without the feed tubes. It'll probably have this, I believe it has this one in there. I don't remember, I haven't ordered one of these in I had one of these a while back, a couple of years ago. But I know it's gonna come with the bearing pressed into the cover, because that should not happen. And if you see that, or if it's loose in there, then you gotta replace it, all right? When I took this cover off, this bearing was on, let's see, oh, you know what, it's on the main case. This bearing was out, you know, it wasn't in the cover. It stayed on the race where the gear is, and I just took it off the race and it dropped right back in here. But you can see there's a space here. So this is not letting the main shaft run true. All right, so you'll see this with a new bearing. It's gonna be a brand new cover. Here are the tubes. All right, here is the bolt. When you order these updated tubes, you're gonna get a new bolt as well. All right, so this is how you can tell, other than most of the time, 99% of the time, the tubes are broken. But the way you can tell if it's the early style is that it has this. Okay, the new style tubes, which you'll see have their own brackets, and they'll go on, and then the one bolt will go in and hold both tubes down. So this is an absolute must on the CRVs. You know, whenever you see these tubes, mainly I believe on the 5-speeds, also on the Honda Accords too, 4 cylinders, absolutely 100% change these. If they look good, change them, because it's going to be a problem later on. All right, here is the collar that second gear gets fed in. You want to check for ring grooves in here. If it's not perfect, I would recommend to change this. All right, also here are the seals, 2 seals in the back. And again, this sits in the front in the bell housing, like in the converter housing as they would call it. Okay, and it's a pretty tight fit for this bearing. So, I mean, if you have, I think I put them away. I have the bearing, you know, removers that you put in, and it has the points that spread out. You tighten it up and it'll spread out. And this one actually popped right up and it came right out. Normally it doesn't happen. A lot of times you got to heat these up, put them through my tank, get it hot, and before I cool it down with cold water, I try to pop the thing up, and it normally comes out. And again, there's also a tool available to get these out. All right, and the last thing is this cooler return filter from Honda. All right, I'm leaving this together so I remember how the filter goes, you know, because it's got to go in the correct direction. So I just leave everything together until I get the new filter, and then I'll take, you know, this one off, I'll put it on, and this one put it on, and then we'll go back into, you know, then when I put everything back together. So those are pretty much the 4 common problems that I see. You know, these are almost every time. Filter gets replaced every time. This I check if it's bad, I replace it, and again with the cover, if it's bad, I replace it. But you know, I haven't come across this on the 4-cylinder Accords, but you know, it's possible. I see that more on the CRVs on this one here. I don't know, maybe because it's all-wheel drive, you know, maybe more of a load or something, but I see that more on the CRVs. All right, so that is all for now. And once I get the items from Honda, I'll give you a shot of the new stuff. I'll give you a shot of the part numbers. And what I'll do is I'll take the part numbers down, and when I post it, I'll put everything, you know, I'll put the part numbers to the tubes. This pretty much is uniform, you know, for all the transmissions that take these tubes. The cooler return filter also pretty much just one part number. There may be more than one cover, but the part number I'm going to be putting down is for the MKZA, but you can always, you know, research the part number. But I'll be sure to put those in the description. when I post this video. All right, so I'll catch up with you guys when I get my stuff from Honda, and we'll continue from there. All right, so I'll see you guys in a little while. All right, so it's been a couple of days and everything came in from Honda for the CRV transmission designated as the MKZA. All right, so what I got from them, just to let you know, if you need any of this stuff, I would definitely recommend going to Honda because it's probably the best price from there. Other people do sell this stuff, but it's probably going to be more because I know, honestly, my main supplier, Transtar, they don't have the collar, they don't have this filter that I like. The tube set is more money and the end cover is more money, so I like to get everything from Honda. So we have the collar here, and this was $17.34. The filter was $46.31. The pipes were $58.86, and the end cover was $231.51. All right, and well, I want to get up close. I just want to show you the bearing is in there. It's pressed in there, and that's where it's not supposed to come out. All right, so I'll give you a shot of the part numbers, and if I remember, which I should remember when I put the video out, in the description I'll put the part numbers, because these are the most common parts when you're doing these 4-cylinder units that I always get, unless it's a real late unit and, you know, like the pipe set is already in there, it's been updated already. But this filter I always change, and for the most part the collar, I mean, if it's good and there's no ring grooves in there, you can use it. But for, you know, $16, and we were ordering this other stuff, I said let's just get the collar too, we'll put that in. Little bit, you know, not bad. Can I use it? Yeah, I probably could use it over, but $16, I'll just get another one with $17. All right, so let me get a little closer, and then I want to show you the main case. I'll explain it to you when I show you. Actually, the case was broken, and I was trying to source out another case, and I couldn't get it. My supplier that I get good used parts from, I gave him he was looking for a casting number, which I didn't have. You know, there was just like the three-letter code on there. But I gave him the transmission designation, and he said he didn't have it, but he said, and then he asked me what the problem was with it, and it was broken where a main mount goes in the front. A section of the case was missing. You know, it was actually missing, wasn't there. So he said, we can fix it. You know, we do it all the time. We have a piece that we'll cut yours out a little more to define it, and then we can weld a new piece in, and they did, and I'll tell you, it looks fantastic. So I wanted to show you that too. All right, so let me get a little closer. I'll show you this stuff, the case, and we'll finish up the video. Okay. All right, so here is, let me just open it and I'll show you. This is the filter, and you just got to make sure that, you know, of course, you put this in the correct way for the fluid to flow. That's why I leave everything together until I'm ready to put it on, and then I go ahead and install it. All right, so that's the cooler return filter. All right, here is the pipe set, and these are the updated pipes, and of course you get a new bolt. I'm hoping you guys can see that part number there. And that's pretty much for all of them. This filter pretty much is for all of them. I believe the collar is also the same. All right, so here is the collar. I'm going to put the 2 O-rings on the outside. And of course, this is brand new, so this is all nice. All right, if you can see that. right, so here's the end cover. It did come with this pipe, and of course this bearing, which is pressed in, not like the other one. All right, I got a seal in here. I got a little bearing in here. That's for the linkage. So what I got to do now is, where is the cover? Okay, so I'm going to switch over this feed pipe. I'm going to switch over this feed pipe, and this is already in there, and this of course is loose. I'm going to get a new pressure switch. Also, OE, go only OE on the pressure switches. You know, Honda would be the place to go for that. You give them the VIN number, they should know what you need. And the bearing and everything is there. So just this feed pipe and this feed pipe, because I'm going to have to change that over. Which I will do that this morning. All right, so this is a brand new end cover. And that came in this box. That came in this box. And there's that part number. Okay. And now I want to show you this case. So here's the front half of the case. Let me just back this out a little bit. All right, here is the front half of the case. This is the all-wheel drive. Let me pick it up a little here. Hold on one second. Okay. And this section down here, all right, so we have a threaded hole here, and this whole section here, this whole section here was missing. And when they dropped the transmission down, the installer came to tell me, because this is the main mount for the front. So you got one bolt here and one bolt here, and you know, he said that I said, did it break off? He says, no, it wasn't even there. So that's why I was trying to source out a new case, because you really need this for the main mount. This is the only mount in the front. So I couldn't really get this, and then when he asked me what the problem was and I told him, he said he can fix it. And you can see here, they welded in a whole new section here. Well, this is new. I mean, it's absolutely perfect. Lined up. I mean, it looks great. You can't even really tell, but it was a very, very good weld job. And now I have my bolt here and bolt here. And the mount actually is good, so we're just going to put the mount back. So that's actually the first time I had something like this done. Now I know it can be done. I honestly didn't know it could be done before. So that's it for this, on these common problems with these 4-cylinder transmissions. Again, this is a 06 Honda CR-V with the MKZA. And it pretty much goes on the CR-Vs for the 4 and the 5 speeds. And you'll see a transmission very similar to this. Instead of it being an all-wheel drive, it'll be a front-wheel drive on the 4-cylinder Accords. All right, so the 4-cylinder Accords kind of, you know, it gets all this stuff. I do the pipes, I do the collar, I do the filter. I don't really see these covers go bad too much on the 4-cylinder Accords. But on the CR-Vs, this is the second or third one that I'm getting. You know, it's due to load and vibration. The bearing comes loose and it makes the, you know, doesn't let the main shaft run true, and it makes the noise. So an easy way to tell if you need an end cover is you'll have a noise in neutral and in park, and then as soon as you drop it into drive or reverse, the noise stops. So I knew right away I needed an end cover for this. And just the other stuff is routine, you know, the filter. You can also do this from the outside, and the pipes. If they aren't updated 100%, everyone should get the updated set of tubes. All right, so I think that is about it. So I can get this one done. I got a Ford 95 Bronco on this bench. I'm gonna put that together. And I got a 66 RFE and a Lexus transmission there, so I got 4 going, and I got a couple more coming out today. So it's time for me to get to work for the day. I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and we will see you next one.